into this. Our first quarterfinal of the day. FoCuS against SOC. Korean Derby. The Koreans have been doing really well in this tournament. And these are two of the strongest Koreans, two of the strongest players in the world. Human against Orc. Best of 3. Let's go. And yes, best of 3. Something that is not entirely normal, I suppose. Oftentimes in the playoffs we are used to best of 5, especially in single elim. But this is going to be best of 3 until the finals. The finals is going to be best of 5, but quarters and semis will be best of 3. Alright, now let's get into the nitty gritty. What do we have here? SOC in the top right in the blue, starting off with a fairly standard opening here, creeping the green. With only 3 militia, by the way, so keeping lumber economy very much intact. This might be a 2-farm tech. Oh yes, it is. 2-farm tech here by SOC, so very likely going to be going into Rifleman. And FoCuS starting off with the Farseer opening, of course. And very fast tech for the Orc as well, with a skipped Barracks. So no grunt early. Is going to be harassing with the Farseer solo. And going to try to apply much pressure as he can. Thank you, Second Aid, for the 44-month resub. Says, hail to the Remo. Thank you very much, my man. SOC is making another farm. Not the blacksmith right away. So maybe he is not gonna go into rifles. We'll see. There's, of course, a couple of different options that Human has. It's mainly those two, of course. Rifles or footmen. And I think I just saw the blacksmith being started in the main. So that should indeed be rifleman. Most humans decide to stick on only 3 footies for the entire game and go into rifles right after. And it seems like that is the case here for SOC as well. Waiting for the blacksmith to finish to start rifles. The arcane tower is coming up in the main. Should be safe against harass from the wolves then. And SOC has defended the wolf harass pretty well so far. Has lost no peasants. But it also hasn't gotten level 2. This is always the problem when going for 2-farm tech. You only have 3 footmen early, so it's hard to fend off the pressure easily and hard to successfully creep up to level 2 to finally get that juicy, juicy aura. And yeah, he still doesn't have it. Big last hit here. If SOC gets both these Murlocs, he's gonna be level 2. Oof. And he gets him. And the item. I think he may have bought the claws. I'm not entirely sure if he found him or bought him. But FoCuS was not able to get the last hit here. So the AM did get level 2, but it was delayed for a long time. So I think FoCuS can be satisfied with this early game. SOC also didn't lose any economy, so I think both are sort of fine with how this game has gone so far. And look at FoCuS. Going for the big creep at the natural right away. Not even going for the little green first, or Tuskars or anything. But rather going for the natural instantly. This could in theory be punished by SOC, but first he would have to know about it. And there's no scout in the south, so it would just be a gamble for SOC to harass down there. But seems like the gamble is gonna pay off. It's just gonna, go on a scouting mission with the AM. But he's actually checking the green camp first, runs past FoCuS. It was nighttime, so he didn't see him. He bought a claws again, so a lot of damage now on this AM. But the TC is creeping this natural very fast. Northern Isles very easy to creep. Oh, and that is so unfortunate for SOC. Look at the AM movement. You can sort of see it on the minimap. He checked the green. He checked the Tuskar. He didn't consider the possibility that FoCuS would be taking the natural instantaneously. But he did. He did. He got level 2. And now he's expanding there right away. So, around 2 minutes. And then his Orc expansion is going to be up. And then things are going to get a little more hairy for SOC. He's going to have to fight up against a lot of Orc economy and mass. And he doesn't have a window here anymore to just cancel this with the AM. FoCuS very diligently is standing there with his AM, with his Farce here, and takes out the Watch Elemental right away. He knew he had to take care of this, and he did. FoCuS going for just the tiniest bit of a risk with that TC first creep camp. But honestly, it's not even that risky. Knowing that the AM is only level 2, knowing there's only a few footmen, and the MK wouldn't be out, you can just go for that camp. And if the AM is there, then maybe you have to walk away. Maybe you have to pop a speed scroll. But nothing too dangerous should be happening. So I like the creep route here by FoCuS a lot. But Sok is also heavily creeping up. He's going for Tuskar into natural. That should be almost level 3 MK. As the IM was forced to TP out. The human first hero was harassing, scouting, trying to figure out what's going on. Ooh, and the Farseer at the shop. Gets the heal scroll. Didn't get the invuln. That one is still in the shop. And FoCuS is going to claim it. He's got a big healing. He's got the invuln pot. And he's going for a scroll of protection. He's going to be able to snipe the big item here. That's going to be level 3 MK, which is of course desperately needed for that clap. Gets the robe of the Magi, also good for the Mountain King. And I imagine the AM is going back to the main to get some mana potions. I think he has a shop by now. FoCuS expansion about to finish. Mana potion bought. But FoCuS' army is still pretty small. We have 4 rifles, couple of footmen, priests. Sok seems to be fight ready, but needs to be careful with his AM. This is the opening. Catching out the AM. Sok not paying close enough attention to his first hero. Forced into the heal potion right away, but that's not going to save him. He is just dead. AM got the items from the main. He got the mana potion and gets punished for being out of position. He was forced to TP out earlier, and now FoCuS. It just takes one mistake. One mistake to get punished like crazy by your opponent. By the way, little PSA in case you guys don't know, we are working with a clean feed here from China. So this is basically a stream, a Chinese stream that we're rebroadcasting. That's the official rules. But hold on, the AM is back. He's getting stomped again, focused again. Oh, he's dead again. That's what we call a big yikers. MK has to do everything himself here. Farseer is somehow still not level 2. But the TC, he landed a few good stomps. He has a couple of more left, maybe. But yeah, as I said, this is the clean feed, so we don't have choice over the graphics options. So we're gonna have reforged, and I can't control the camera. Again, it's a clean feed, so just so you guys know. This game now, of course, looking very good for FoCuS. Mountain King for Sok is still looking pretty strong. He's got a bit of mana left. He's got the heal potion and mana potion still. Second buyback on the AM. Very expensive. And the expansion now running for FoCuS. He can produce way more than Sok can. Stomp. Oh, is it time again to die? Whew. Heal potion this time. Just barely survives. That means the heal potion is not going to be available for the MK anymore. He's hurt already. Aggressive purge is coming out. A couple of rifles going down. The AM might be falling once again. Oh, this is looking very, very grim now for Sok. Losing more and more units. The AM, the tragic figure of this game. Invul potion. I think he actually dodged the chain lightning damage. That was kind of cool. MK is level 4. But now getting purged. Getting attacked. MK is kind of tanky. Getting healed by the priest, but another stomp comes through. AM. It has been just pure misery for the old wizard on the horse. But Sok with fighting spirit. Not tapping out yet. Might be going for the 3rd tavern revive. Footies were harassing over at the expansion a little bit earlier, so income was successfully slowed down then. But since then, mining has been looking good for FoCuS. He's getting the next round of items at the shop. Invuln and Heal Scroll is going to TP out here. Doesn't want to lose his own first hero. Like Sok did 3 times this game. Honestly, you can afford to lose the AM once or twice maybe if you're in a good position outside of that. But FoCuS just never allowed Sok to take a lead in this game. Solid game from FoCuS from beginning to end. With just the tiniest risk of the TC creep route. That worked out really well. Creep Jack again. Purges. More. Kills coming through. This TC should be level 4 any minute now. And this MK might actually be dead. Yep. And that is indeed now the GG. 1-0 for Sok. For FoCuS, excuse me. 1-0 for FoCuS. On our beginning map. Northern Isles. Solid performance by the Orc. He's been having a really good year so far. FoCuS has, and not just this year, but also the end of last year. He won... Which tournament was it again? It was over Christmas. He won a tournament. I think it was Huya, the Huya Cup or something. We weren't covering it because it was Christmas. But yeah, FoCuS has definitely been looking pretty strong recently. Yes, it was the Huya Master Invitational that FoCuS was able to win. And also in the Zelos Red, he took 2nd place. And the Warcraft Survival Battle, both of those were in January. FoCuS was able to get to the finals. So FoCuS has been running really hot lately and has been showing up in very, very good shape indeed. Sok is going to have to step it up a notch if he wants to keep up with FoCuS. And dude, they are just blasting through these games. No time for a breather. We're going to map 2, ladies and gentlemen. And it's a classic. A unique map. Certainly iconic. Not beloved by everyone. Some tournaments even started removing it out of the modern map pool. I'm of course talking about Echo Isles. Here we go. Sok in the top left in the blue. FoCuS top right in the red. Echo Isles, one of the few maps where human can fast expand. Is that the reason why Sok picked it here? Or is there another one? Archmage opening is certainly to be expected against Orc. There's a few wild cats out there who try to play MK first, but normally that doesn't seem to work out too well. On certain maps, the early Shadow Priest pickup can be a big difference maker, and it's sort of fashionable nowadays for the Orc to send a peon to the Merc camp and steal the Shadow Priest there. And I think that's the red dot we're seeing on the minimap. But the human counter to that is send the footy there and prevent the pickup by blocking the Shadow Priest. And then the creep camp can oftentimes take it out fairly easily. So this is a very advanced technique where both players have to execute well and react to one another. Is FoCuS gonna go for it? It would be pretty greedy. Would be very risky. And yeah, he's not gonna do it. But Sok, by sending his peon down there, made sure this wasn't gonna happen, made sure he didn't have to deal with that early Shadow Priest. And look at FoCuS, going for the Merchant first. That's the Remo special creep route right there. Great thing about creeping the Merchant is A, it's easy, and B, it's instant level 2 when you finish this camp. The downside is the drop isn't very good. It's sentry wards, so nothing in terms of right-click damage. And Sok moving across the map fairly aggressively. He hasn't seen the Farseer in a very long time, so it's very suspicious. Normally the Farseer always comes to harass instantly. So Sok knows that the Farseer is creeping somewhere on the map, probably doing a greedy camp. Far away from the AM. So he's gonna creep aggressively himself. Take the Orcs camp away from him. Hope for some more damage on the AM. We have Lightning Shield on the Farseer, which can be good, but is not really a very high impact item anymore. Canceling the shop would be really nice to do here for Sok, but he's a little too late for that one. So we're just trading level 2. AM maybe level 2.2, 2.3. Slightly ahead of the Farseer. He's creeping up a little bit more. If he could inch his way forward to level 3 quickly, that would be absolutely wonderful. Hasn't been able to do that yet. FoCuS. These creep routes by FoCuS, I love it. Comes in very prepared over here. Look at that. He's going for the merchant first, then goes home to defend his main if he has to, and then creeps the marketplace with a lightning shield that he just found. One of mana stealing. It's not the dream item, but for TC against MK, it's kind of good. And it's going to get him pretty close to level 3 over here. Sok is going to have to punish this. Oh, he's trapping both the grunts in here. Maybe FoCuS will have to TP out. Although, I don't know, maybe not. Everything is certainly hurt here for the Orc, but another footman goes down and the Farseer is almost level 3. Early level 3 Farseer is super strong. And against rifles, level 2 wolves are always good. Because there's no breakers. They can't get stolen. And the Farseer indeed reaches level 3, but so does the AM. Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. He does not. AM isn't even close to level 3. And it just seems like FoCuS is completely outplaying him here. Way better creep route. Way better early game preparation. FoCuS comes in with a plan and executes. Very, very well. His plan working out way better than the one of the Kansas City Chiefs worked out last night. Am I right? Oh, and the rifles are stuck in the base. It's a rough game for Sok. Remember, this is best of 3. There is no safety net anymore if Sok loses this game. We're only going to have best of 5 in the final, so Sok is staring down the barrel right now. Which is kind of crazy. I thought this was going to be super close. But maybe not. Sok has to chop open the trees. Finally, he can get out with his rifles. He has 3 rifles already. He could have had them on the map way faster. Imagine if he has some rifles there to creepjack at the marketplace. That would have been way better for Sok, obviously. TC comes out, starts off again with a big camp. Is going to go for the level 2 right away. And a Berserker. Why not? Try it out. See if it fits. MK is getting in some good creeping himself. He's taking the same camp here with the Merc. Farseer has some good damage items, but this early game definitely belonged to Sok. FoCuS, his win condition last game towards the end, was the expansion, which came up super fast. This game, it's a little slower. Trying with the Stomp, Surround. Oh, nice counter surround with the Water Elemental. AM still stuck, though. And that is, again, the TP force pretty quickly. Is that the best way to use the AM? I'm all for harassing for a while, being annoying, being disruptive. But once there's Stomp and Purge, it seems like it's inevitable that you're going to lose that TP. Daytime now. Or, well, in a second. It's going to be time for the items. Oh, he Stormbolts the Farseer, so you can't buy the items. I was wondering, does that mean you can't buy the items? But as you saw, you can. Because the Farseer, even when stunned, bought the heal scroll and the invuln. And the TC got level 3. And that is the perfect moment now for FoCuS to be aggressive. He's got a level 3 hero. He knows the MK isn't level 3 himself. He's also pretty hurt. He's got the 2 items, the invul and the heal scroll. And again, I was seeing that incorrectly. He wasn't actually quite level 3 yet. I thought he was. There's going to be an expansion coming up now for FoCuS, and then he's probably going to move a little aggressively here. Force a fight if you can, and if not, just creep camps away from the opponent like the natural. And Snock, definitely in trouble. That TP being gone is going to make the AM's life very difficult. And we saw the AM suffering a lot already on map 1. Thank you, MTP Hool, with the 8-month resub, says, let's go B2W. Was that a level 2 Watch Elemental? That looked like level 2, which is not the norm. But I'm not sure. Maybe it's level 1. I can't click on them, unfortunately. Invis TC comes in with the Stomp, hits 5 rifles. 1 Watch Elemental, purged right away. And I'm pretty sure that is indeed level 2 Watch Elementals. MK gets stomped. Wolves to close the surround. TC in a bit of trouble, but he doesn't even have to use the invul yet. Triple... Oh, he didn't have the invul on the TC. Oh, what a mistake by FoCuS. Carried the invul on the Farseer instead of the TC. So the TC goes down. But so did the Mountain King. 1 grunt lost as well. For 1 rifle on the other side. Who is that better for? I don't know. FoCuS had only 40 supply. His forces definitely still not very big. With the first raider coming in and snare to lock down some raiders. Very helpful. FoCuS trying to see if he can force another fight here. Or at least take a few kills. Very sloppy micro on the raider. That one should never die if the Mountain King isn't here. And the AM level 4 is actually able to hold on here by himself, waiting for the Mountain King to return from the altar, which should be around a minute away. Maybe a little less. Sock is definitely fighting his way back into this game. Mountain King, 60% revived. And FoCuS has to get back to the main, get some clarities, get some heal salves. What can Sock do now? He's got 50 supply, 400 gold. He could go into upkeep, 55, maybe 60. Go for a decisive push. And that seems to be his most obvious option. Counter expansion, is that still in time? Might be a little too late. Ray WD, thank you very much for the sub. Alright, the MK is back. Clarities, double mana potion, and off we go. FoCuS gonna creep a little bit more. Oh, he's almost got 4/4 heroes. Wow, that's really good. But still, pretty low in supply. Farseer gets level 4. He's got double Berserker and double Raiders. So, potentially can be very effective against the priests, but against the rifles, he doesn't have to seem that much. He doesn't seem to have that much. Only 2 grunts, so damage could be really lacking against the rifleman. FoCuS considered going down to the bottom right to take a creep camp there, but he would have been punished, and FoCuS has the senses to get back to the expansion. Would love to defend his shop here, but the shop is gonna get cancelled. That's a big deal. MK getting heavily focused. Is there an invul on him? I'm not sure if there is. Heal potion, transferred, stomp again. If there's a chain lightning, that could be his end. But the MK survives. Potion again, right click's coming through. Chain lightning is there, but the heal scroll! That was the second one, and that could be the moment to turn the fight around. MK has survived, and now FoCuS's army is absolutely evaporating. Wolves being summoned, but wolves being dispelled. And as I said, the damage against the rifles seems to be pretty low. TC almost going down. Invul Potion will save him. And Sock setting up shop over here. Mountain King just barely limping away. The heal scrolls saving his behind. The heal potion and then the heal scroll saving the Mountain King's life. And FoCuS overextending. Couldn't get the kill. You might even be able to consider giving up the expansion here. You're playing against rifles. If you ever get to TC level 5, that might be the win for you. And look at how smart that shop here is now. The MK was still in trouble, but he's got the Invul Potion now. He's got the shop there, which means he has heal potion. So this MK is never gonna die. Not in this position. What a comeback by FoCuS. After a really rough early game, he fights his way back. It's not over yet. Not by a long shot, but it's looking good for the human now. There's no priests in this human army, which is a problem. There's no healing here going on at all. TC into the front line. Stomp, but also getting halt held in his tracks here with the Stormbolt. Speed scroll reposition. Water elementals taken out. I think it's level 3 water elementals actually. One priest is here again. FoCuS wants to take it out right away, and he manages to do so. But the Mountain King and the rifles having such great damage output. Oh, and look at those water elementals now. Suddenly, now that there's no shaman left, or hardly any shaman left, these water elementals are looking strong again. Oh, Stormball on the TC clap. Could be his end. Not quite. FoCuS down to only 33 supply. Oof, it's looking rough now for the Orc. He's definitely going to lose the expansion. But he's going to try to do some damage across the map. Maybe. Farsi almost level 5. TC should be somewhat close as well. The TC loss. And it's probably what's going to cost FoCuS the game here. If he loses. It's not over yet though. If this TC gets to level 5, all bets are off. No reinforced defenses. FoCuS was too greedy to go for the defensive upgrade on those watch elementals. Oh my god. The shaman can't keep up with the dispel anymore. Stormbolt, clap, TC almost dead. TC is dead. Did not have a heal scroll or a heal potion. And Sock gets the Equalizer. Great comeback by the human. That game was looking so bad for him. Losing a lot of the camps in the middle. Losing the marketplace and the merchant, that is. Getting level 3 way after the Farseer did. Losing the TP. Losing the MK. But FoCuS with the massive mistake of losing his own TC when he really shouldn't have. And that was a critical moment in that game. If the TC survives, FoCuS has those resources still. They didn't have to spend, or wouldn't have had to spend on the Tavern Revive. He would have had like maybe 10 more supply. At least 6 more supply. Maybe a couple more mana potions or something. And then the Expo probably would have ensured him or enabled him to sail through that game to victory. But FoCuS, even FoCuS in his great shape right now, can make mistakes. So we're going to have one more map. The deciding third map. Oh, wait a minute. The deciding third map, Turtle Rock. That is FoCuS' map choice. Turtle Rock, of course, newly reintroduced to the map pool of some tournaments. Not all tournaments. It's more popular in Asia, in Europe. The tournament organizers are banking on more modern map alternatives. But yeah, certainly a classic, an iconic map in Warcraft history. And our decider for map number 3. FoCuS in the top left in the red, bottom left Sock in the blue. They're spawning on the same lane, so the merchant between the two bases and the inherent Watcher Ward will be very valuable. Farseer opening against AM. That should certainly not surprise us. The biggest question here is how early is FoCuS going to try to expand? And what army is Sock going to try to build into? Is it going to be rifles again? Or will we see a move into breakers? Both are viable. Both have different strengths and weaknesses. Seems to be much of a player preference thing, but also very region driven. Like, for example, the Chinese players, Infi, TH, Fortitude, they usually play a lot of breakers, whereas Chimiko and Sock, the Koreans, play a lot of rifles, from what I've seen. Two Burrow Tech. It's very unusual. So it's 3 different opening builds by FoCuS. Game 1 we saw super fast tech with the skip barracks. Map 2 we saw Peon Scout, 1 burrow tech. And now it's a 2 burrow tech, which should still be pretty fast of a tech, because of course with the Farseer you don't have to buy heal cells. That's the big advantage early game and over the course of a game. Compared to Blade Master. Blade Master is always going to take damage creeping, take damage harassing. He's going to have to heal up at the with the heal salves. With the Farseer you can just tank the damage with the wolves and you're fine. For a second there I almost had a heart attack thinking Sock was going to go to the red camp. But no. That would have been crazy. Both players quickly creeping up to level 2. Sock finds Ring and Circlet. Very good items later on for the MK. And FoCuS is taking the little turtles. Not the biggest drops, but very easy to creep. Just a Farseer and wolves are enough to take those out. Sock would love to be evasive here during nighttime. Just sneak from camp to camp and slowly inch his way towards level 3. And FoCuS lost track of the opponent. But if he can't find him, then he's just going to creep himself. And I think FoCuS is willingly also prioritizing more creeping on his Farseer, knowing that he's likely going to be going up against rifles. If the human plays breakers, then Farseer levels are pretty much useless. You can't chain lightning the breakers, you can't use the wolves as they'll be stolen against the breakers. But against rifles, Farseer is a lot more impactful. Now we see Sock going towards the main, he's going to take out the burrow. Beautiful surround with the footies, there's no chance here for a repair. Well, there's some repair, but not with too many peons. There's the first burrow going down. Tier 2 buildings also being delayed, that is of course the lodge. But the TC is started. That's the most important thing. That was not prevented with this push. And the Farseer in the meantime got the item, got the ward, and got level 3. Coming home now to defend. Should be able to force away these footmen and the AM. 4 footmen this time, by the way. 5 footmen. 5 footmen. That should mean no rifles then. Oh, never mind. There's a blacksmith. We are gonna have rifles, but heavier footman investment this time around. Wait a minute. Blacksmith and double sanctum? Rifles? And breakers? Oh, TC waiting in the shadows. But can't. Stomps around the AM. Doesn't have stomp yet. Interesting. So he's starting off with a handful of rifles to have some damage and tempo right away. And then he's going to transition into breakers for a stronger late game towards the end. Okay. Good movement here also by Sock, ensuring that no easy turtle will be crept here for the TC, who is not having that good of a time early on with creeping. On other maps, you can just rush level 2 TC right away. On Turtle Rock, you would love to be just left alone entirely and creep either a turtle cab with a TC solo or creep the starting position solo. But if you get jacked, it's very dangerous. At the moment, the TC, of course, not very strong. Doesn't have stomp yet. Only level 1. But it's the Farseer, who in this stage of the game is actually quite scary. The level 2 wolves against the rifles. Very good. But only as long as there's no dispel. And the priest adept training should be done in a minute, any minute now. So I think Sock is looking in a pretty good position here. There's no expansion coming up yet for the Orc. The TC is still far away from being well leveled. Oh, what a chain lightning though. Farseer steals the last hit. That is such a big deal. That's a level 6 creep. That is around 100 experience. Really nice. I'd love to see some clarities on the Farseer here as well. He's going to be level 4 soon, and then being able to use a couple of chain lightnings in the fight would be a really good help. Four rifles now. No breakers yet. Okay. So maybe he's going to the supply cap at 50 with rifles, and then he's going to go bank a little bit and go into breakers, then if he goes higher in supply. That's something you can only afford if the Orc is not expanding and you have a lot of time to be greedy on 50 supply. At the same time, Turtle Rock, a very big map where the Orc can creep a ton, and where the TC, somewhat realistically, can get level 5. And level 5 TC against rifles is extremely powerful. But as we saw the double sanctum, so there could be a transition happening towards breakers. And I think at this point it seems pretty likely that we are going to see such a transition. Is that the first Kodo this series? I feel like Sock didn't have one before. FoCuS, of course. Did we see the red camp item for Sock? I don't believe we did. Hopefully we're gonna see FoCuSes here. Gonna get the big item. And also the Rune of Healing, which is amazing for Orcs. Orcs have a very tough time healing passively. Night Elves have Moonwells and bears, undeads have statues. Humans have priests, but orcs have nothing. They only have heal selves to heal up. Especially if they're not playing a Shadow Hunter. So, rune wards, heal runes like this one, extremely good to have, extremely convenient to have for orc. And of course, unique to Turtle Rock. Nowhere else do we have heal runes. Which, it's probably better that way. MK with a really strong inventory. Look at that. Bonus stats, bonus mana regen, bonus mana pool. About to be level 4 as well. Mana potion. Picked up as well. Seems like the MK is fight ready. TC creeping another big red camp. Should be level 4.5 now. Has to use the invuln to pick up the item. Was that a misclick? It may have been. TC with the claws plus 12, by the way. That was the drop of the red camp. It's not really very good. It's okay-ish on the Farseer, but Farseer doesn't have that high attack speed, so not what he was hoping for. A lot of one-off mana stealing. He has 4 charges, so he could drain 200 mana off of the MK. That's a really big deal. TC again with the Invis pot. As FoCuS is gonna look to attack the main, maybe. But in the meantime, FoCuS getting attacked in his own main base. Peons are moving south, which is very suspicious movement indeed. Kodo Beast being picked off as well. Shout out to Carson, who always loses his first Kodo right away. Although, that was the second Kodo. This time, there's reinforced defense, so it's going to be a lot harder for Sok to take out these buildings. FoCuS with the grunts with the raiders, doing a lot of damage to the infrastructure. TP home. FoCuS. Is he going to try to take this fight? Nope. He's going to speed scroll out. See you later, nerds. Those Footmen and Watch Elemental is valuable experience for the TC. Remember, he's close to level 5. And that is one of the most powerful level ups in the game. Level 5 TC. FoCuS now with the big army. 64 supply against Socks. 61. 1-0 upgrades on the rifles. Which is not that much. We have one breaker at the moment. The transition hasn't really fully occurred. And again, FoCuS with the intercept. Game 1 was against the AM at the marketplace. Finding a really good start to the fight. And here now takes out the militia right away. Loses a shaman over it though. And it's a weird position for him. There's a good little bottleneck over there for the ranged human army. Oh my god, this MK has double pendant and a mana potion and a Sobi. Throw the beast in the back. TC getting slowed down. Stormbolt to control him. We have FoCuS on the Archmage as well. There's no TP anymore on him. He needs to be careful. He's being cast invis, and there's no detection on the Orc side. There's a Watcher Ward, but apparently not close enough. TC with the big mana potion popped as well, but he's low HP. He has to be careful. Maybe can't re-engage into this fight. Still very even. 55 supply for Sok. Chain Lightning is rattling through. MK again getting stomped and slowed down. He's got a lot of mana still to use with the mana potions, but he's dropping low. Really low. So is the Orc army, but the MK dies. Chain Lightning comes in. That's double level 5 for the Orc heroes. And that might be the breaking point. Although the TC is out of mana. Can't use any stomps here, which would be so helpful to have. Now the ranged army is kicking in the Kodos and the Shaman. It's not that much damage, but it is continuous damage trickling in over time. A few more rifles going down. A few more priests going down. Purge coming in, one after the next, and it seems like FoCuS wins that fight barely thanks to the Mountain King kill. Sok's gonna have to back up. But that means the expansion can be fully running. There were some units there harassing the peons, but didn't seem to do that much. MK bought back from the tavern. He's going to use the mana potion to full effect. Almost 300 mana again for the little dwarf. Oh, does FoCuS not have a shop anymore? He may have lost the shop earlier. Thank you, Drunken Bash, with the 18-month resub. Says, Remo's back from prison. Nice. Thank you, man. Sock's last chance. This is the last map. FoCuS. Is he gonna defend this expansion or not? Painful macro mistake here by the orc, not remaking that shop. Is making it really hard here for him to recover. But only we know that. Sock doesn't know this fact. Oh man, he thought of it so late here. Making the shop again. And Sock is getting cold feet. He's running away from the bottom left. He probably could have been able to kill this expansion if he just stuck around. But of course, he couldn't know that FoCuS didn't have a shop yet. Alright. Sock is here again. Full HP, full mana, everywhere. FoCuS. He's got the Invis TC again. But now we have the breakers. 4 breakers, which is not quite critical mass. But it's close. Invis TC against Invis MK. Sock especially needs to protect his Farseer. FoCuS should also buy a Dust of Appearance. In fact, I think he just used it there, maybe. I heard some kind of reveal. Sock was able to buy the Invuln? FoCuS didn't steal away the Invuln! Wow, that looks like a big mistake. FoCuS had position on the shop, he had the Watcher Ward there, and he still allowed Sock to get the Invuln. TC's coming in. Good positioning by Sock. It's impossible to reach the AM in the back. But the Kodas are coming in, trying to devour the breakers away. Stomp again to slow down the MK. TC is dropping low very fast. Gonna have to use the Invul here. Couple of seconds of invulnerability, but it's gonna be over in a moment. And now it's time for the MK again to reign supreme. The next clap could be marvelous. Stormball on the Kodo as well takes that out and almost... it doesn't get back a breaker actually. Heal scroll nicely timed, saves 2 of the breakers. Heavy focus on the Mountain King now, but there's still the Invuln available for Sock. He might be able to turn this fight in his favor, but of course, FoCuS is mining off of 2 bases. He's got more income. Mountain King, level 5. Crazy strong level up for him. He's dropping low though. Falling back, getting healed by the priests. Trying to hold on to that Invuln as long as he can. Sock is losing his entire army in the meantime. This is a neck-and-neck game here on Turtle Rock, our decider. FoCuS might be clutching it out now, but I said that before. It's not over yet. MK with the next clap. Could be in trouble at level 6 for the TC. And now he has the ultimate, he has Resurrection. And he will gladly die to come back with full mana. Raider comes in, Ensnare is ready, MK gets locked down, and finally taken out. Farseer level 6 as well. And the GG and the win for FoCuS.